You've asked and we answered. We always love to hear from you, so let's get right on it. Justin, thanks so much for sending in your question. I'm a Liverpool fan, he says, but Bernardo Silva has outdone himself this season. He also collected a considerable amount of trophies. Shouldn't he at least be on the Ballon d'Or top 3? What do you say to Justin?
You know, the thing about this, and I was having a long discussion with some people about this. Bernardo Silva 100% should be like top 5 or even 4. I have an issue with...
But not top 3.
That's like, no, not top 3, because I have an issue if Bernardo Silva has that suit and he's just standing there in 3rd place. Wait a minute. So Bernardo Silva is the 3rd best player in the world? That just doesn't seem right. That sense it doesn't seem right. So he has had an amazing season. Bloody amazing for both Portugal and Man City as well. Like, because for me, Sterling has been more effective, but I think Bernardo Silva has been the better player overall. 100%. So, but
no one agreed with me when I said that ages ago. I got chastised.
You said it ages ago.
No, but when we were talking about the Player of the Year award, I got chastised when I said Bernardo Silva's been better than Sterling.
No, but
I felt like I was actually going to get hit.
Not more effective.
Effective, better. Listen, they're kind of one in the same.
No,
they're kind of one in the same.
Bernardo Silva is a better football player.
But
Bernardo Silva's a better footballer.
Without Sterling, City don't get those wins.
Very true. It's got to be clutch.
Bernardo has been effective with his ability. It's not like, I've got some skill, but I never show it.
Look, Leonie wants me to speak. Leonie wants me to speak. Can you please shush him out?
She says me. She said me. That's how I know you don't listen when you're talking.
Okay, sure.
Multitasking, bro. Listen and speak. Listen and speak.
Didn't your mom teach you manners? So,
all right.
Before I was rudely interrupted by Drake right there. Bernardo Silva, he is
started from the bottom and now we're here.
No, he's still at the bottom with those bloody opinions of his.
Okay.
Wow.
But my thing about this is that Bernardo Silva, as good as he's been, he's close. I can't put him as 3rd.
Not 3rd. Okay.
I can't put him as 3rd, but he's very close to being 3rd. But I can put him as 3rd. He's been amazing.
Drifty, finish your thought for us, please.
Thank you, Leonie.
Or Drake.
Yeah.
I'll take that. Bernardo Silva is a fabulous footballer. And I do think a lot of people kind of look past him during the season. That's why I was one person who said, for me, he's been better than Sterling.
I do remember you.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he's been outstanding, and his effectiveness has also been there. He's had a lot of clutch moments. He scored winning goals, and he's actually slotted into the front 3 so well that Sane, who's another incredible footballer, who was Young Player of the Year last year, hardly played this season, or now wants to move because he doesn't even feel like he has a place in the team. So 100% Bernardo Silva is a top player. I wouldn't go as high as to say top 5 or top 3. That's a bit too far.
Okay.
But he's had a very, very good season. Very good season.
Based off of that season alone, that's what we're basing it on. I'm trying to think. Obviously, you put Messi in there, you put Van Dijk in there. Trying to think of who else.
Mbappe and thingy.
No, but the thing is, Mbappe. I wouldn't put Mbappe in terms of this season, and who's done what this season. I think Mbappe obviously smashed it in France,
but
didn't do anything in the Champions League. I think that's where Bernardo Silva might not necessarily get into that top 3, because he done it for City in the league, he done it for Portugal in the Nations League, but Cristiano Ronaldo did it for Portugal in the Nations League. Cristiano Ronaldo did it in Serie A, and he did it in the Champions League. So for me, you'd have to put him above Bernardo Silva if you're talking about best 3 in the world. So I wouldn't put him in the top 3. I'd say he's very close to the top. He's in or around the top 5, because you also have to think of players like Mane and players like Salah and stuff like that as well. So I think it's a bit much to say that Bernardo Silva is top 3 in the world.
Okay, Matt.
I think he's had an amazing season. I think he's been obviously one of City's best players. For Portugal, obviously winning the trophy. I still think though, I don't know if he's good enough to make top 3. Again, I kind of agree with Dev. When I think of top 3 this season alone, I just automatically go to, no particular order, Messi, Van Dijk, and probably, I hate to say it, Cristiano Ronaldo. I think if you look at the totality of what they've done, international, Champions League and Premier League, you can't deny Cristiano. He hates Cristiano so much, that's why he has to have these outbursts. Let him have his outbursts. If you're having outbursts, having
It's a
outbursts. Have a little
safe
cry. You
space
sound
here.
like a blasted Wookiee blood. But anyway,
Safe
this
space.
is what I will say. Bernardo Silva again, mad talented. He's talented. Innit, Chewbacca. We love Anyway. Sorry. Innit, I think-
Ronaldo wasn't the third best player this year, by the way.
No, but I'm just saying, no. You can say that as much as you like because Cristiano Ronaldo, he won the Nations League. Whether you want to say
come on, man.
whether you want to say it's a dead competition, he's still done
He
something.
scored a hat trick against Switzerland. Woo woo.
No, but bro, you can't. Did he win Serie A?
Switzerland got to the final.
Did he win-
No,
did he win
no,
Serie A?
don't do that.
Oh
Don't
my
do
God,
that.
no,
Don't do
hold
that.
on.
Don't bring that in.
No,
Don't
hold
bring that
on.
in.
Don't
Did
upset
he
Don't
not
bring
win
that
Serie
in.
A?
Don't bring
Did he
that
not
in.
win Serie A?
Bro, if you
They
play
won
for
it 7
Juventus,
times in a
they're
row.
open.
We've got to play 7 times.
Alright.
Just without shouting and without everyone getting mad, without everyone losing their rag, who got voted Player of the Season in Serie A?
Ah, come on, man.
No.
You know
What did I
Cristiano
say?
was got like.
No, who got it?
He-
It was
he-
Cristiano-
it was him.
It was Cristiano Ronaldo.
Even professionals, for
Cristiano
some reason,
Ronaldo.
seem to like bow down to
Okay.
Ronaldo.
Because they respect man's graft, rude boy.
Okay.
Respect the graft.
Okay, let me respond in as calm way as possible.
Go on then.
I'll try
And
to.
I'll respond back.
For me, it's
Yeah.
like 100% like Cristiano. I think that what he did in the Nations League, even if I still think it's the Confederations Cup, that was a bloody amazing hat trick. That's a bloody amazing hat trick, and he did play well in those 2 games. But I think what he did in the Nations League combined with the Champions League, and I'm sorry, by him going to the Serie A, it has diminished him. See, because La Liga and the Premier League are much higher, tougher markets than the Serie A, especially if you play for Juventus. Now, if he did what he did for a Roma or a Inter, that would be great. You're in a team that won it 7 times in a row consecutively. That's crazy. So whatever you do in Serie A, it negates whatever you can do. So you can't even put him in the conversation using the Serie A argument.
No, but I'm just saying,
so he's out.
to go to another league though, you have to respect man's graft. Whether you,
Yeah.
whether you, no,
He's
hit
not out of his
that.
comfort zone.
Whether you think it's the best league in the world or not, the man's gone. He's done it in the Premier League. He's done it in Serie A, and he's done it in La Liga. That's why I'll bring
It's
it
got
back.
nothing to do with right now, though.
No, but
he's still-
what did he
he's
win
34
this
and he's
season?
still doing it.
He won the Champions.
But everyone knows
he won.
it's a retirement home in Italy. Everyone knows that. It's easy to be 30.
Yeah, but he still has some clutch
Be
moments.
34 in the Prem.
Right, that's really great, but we're talking about Bernardo Silva here.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I got
Okay,
carried
so
away.
do you want to wrap up? So you
I'll wrap
can,
up
like,
and just say this: Bernardo Silva for me is not top 3. I think an amazing season. I'll put him, as you guys have said, top 5, but I'm gonna say top 3.
Okay, and
Yeah,
let's not
maybe
talk
he's
about
top
your
5.
top 3 because otherwise something
Yeah,
else is gonna.
yeah.
Let's
Ah,
not poke
top
the
3
bear
will be fine.
again. All right, here's a good question from Itu and Nakatuja. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I love that question though. If VAR was used in the Premier League this season, which top 6 teams do you think could have been affected the most? I think I should.
Liverpool.
And
Liverpool
there you
got
go.
away with bare decisions this season. Liverpool and Man City, to be fair. Man City got quite
I was gonna say,
Liverpool
I
had
was-
I was
bare-
waiting for that.
I was waiting
Yeah,
for it.
no,
I
Man
was
City
waiting for it.
because that
I
Watford
watched Man
one was
City.
ridiculous.
I
But-
watched Man City
Yeah.
actually have the referee know it wasn't even
Yeah.
supposed to happen and still give it.
Yeah,
So,
those two both.
I'm not gonna lie,
I mean,
we got away with a few offside
I
goals
can't
this
lie.
season. We did,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't just
and
be.
Tottenham got away with bare shit.
they?
Okay, is
Yeah,
that,
but
is
little
that
fouls and
Arsenal
stuff.
fans
they don't get-
speaking,
no,
or
they-
is
no, they
that?
did.
No, but remember
Jackson.
VAR only comes in
Little
effect if
fouls,
it's a
you know.
red card offence, so little fouls still
No,
wouldn't
if
get
it's in the
looked
build
at.
up to a goal, then they will look back on it.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
like that?
VR looks at everything, man.
No, it's only red card and goal. It's not like the little
Offside,
thing,
no,
yeah,
no,
like
no.
it doesn't like come.
It's
into
only
play with,
big
like-
events.
Yeah,
it can't
yeah.
be like for every little like shirt pull.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I mean, no, I think
Yeah,
I think for Man City, and it's difficult to know because you have to look at all of the different decisions. So if VR was used, how many points would Liverpool or City have lost by those decisions? It's impossible to know unless you view those games. I mean, do we have?
They
a
probably
stat sheet of-
do have somewhere a stat sheet of if VAR was in place, what the final take.
Yeah.
Someone out there's
yeah,
probably
Oh,
done it.
no, they do. So yeah, but I think the teams that have been most
But you
affected
never-
is City and Liverpool.
We would have
City
probably
and
won the league.
Liverpool,
To be
and
fair.
top 6. Can we get top 6 for?
Yeah, no, I don't remember us getting too
No.
many.
Yeah,
decisions.
Chelsea don't think- I don't think.
Wasn't there some outrageous decision? What was it? Was it Leicester or something? Wasn't there also something that?
There was a few.
Remember that?
But the
Yeah,
thing is,
so
to
many
be
games,
to be
yeah.
fair, I think, and this is no disrespect, it's just a fact. From Chelsea in 3rd to Man U in 6th was so underwhelming
Yeah.
last season that I don't think
It was such a
even
big
if Liverpool or
difference.
City had have even had things taken away from them, it would have made much of a difference.
Because it was like,
I
it was
think
like
that's a fair
20 points gap between
it was
second and
No,
it's more than that,
it was
wasn't it?
26 points.
It's more than that, yeah.
I think it was 32
It was
points
something
between Man U and Liverpool.
stupid.
or
It's
something.
over.
That's not, I mean, like, VAR is not going to change to 26.
Yeah, no, for real.
But maybe it could have made a difference between Arsenal and Man U finishing in top 4. You never know about that, but we'd have to go back. I think that's right. Those teams, I don't really remember that being very many times when you felt like they got away with one. So, like, I think it would have probably
I
just
mean, you
been
know,
six.
Man United got away with some decisions. It's Man United.
Yeah, they
Just-
probably
yeah,
did.
yeah.
So maybe that
Six.
means Wolves would have finished
Yeah,
above.
it's written in the contract. Man United must get away with a certain amount of things.
Yeah, that's true.
It's in their contract.
Do you know what? I'll actually say I think Wolves would have finished above Man U if VAR was in, because for real, Man U did get a few dodgy decisions.
Always,
this
they have to.
season.
Ferguson wrote that in his retirement. Like, just please keep 3 decisions, 3 big decisions per month
For us, innit? Yeah.
Imagine getting decisions and still finishing 6th. Trash!
No, those guys.
Trash!
Those guys
Alright.
They are
Those guys are bad, man.
All right, let's
Manchester divided.
let's move on. And again, these names. Okay, so I guess this is Virgil van Pipe, your March. That's
Virgil
the
van-
thing.
Virgil
And
van-
Abby-
Virgil van Pipe.
Is he trying to say Virgil van Pipe your mum?
I thought.
Virgil van Pipe your Marge?
Yes, that's what I said here.
Is this
Yeah.
Mark Simpson?
No,
No, he did it.
slang for
Nah,
mum,
he
innit?
tried
Oh,
that.
wow. I'm not
And
gonna
you
lie,
know, that
that's
lovely
quite
person, that lovely person was reaching out to us via Twitter. Thank you so much. He asked if Van Dijk wins the Ballon d'Or, where do you rank him amongst all-time Prem centre backs?
Fuck's sake.
We have talked about him a lot.
Listen,
Okay, first of all-
I've said, let me go, because
I
I know
think
that you're
it's-
going to come with some slander.
No, I'm not actually.
In my
Quiet.
opinion,
Slander.
he doesn't have the legacy yet to be considered a Rio or a Stam. But in what I've seen of him in his career so far, especially since he joined Liverpool, he is the most complete centre back I've ever seen in my life. And I don't care how much
Wait.
gas people
In
think
your
I've
life?
got.
The
In
most
my life. He just doesn't have the legacy. So people like Cannavaro and
Alright.
Nesta and these guys, they have legacy. These people will never be allowed to be compared to someone who's only been around for 4 or 5 years. But if you just want me to tell you what I've seen of a guy, how amazing he is, what he does, how invincible he looks, at the fact that he has no weaknesses, everything about him, I don't really care what people say. Van Dijk's the most complete centre back I've ever seen in my
You know
life.
what? As crazy as that sounds straight off the bat, it makes sense in what you're saying. I think in terms of what he has in his locker, in terms of his attributes, I think he is a complete defender. He may be one of the most complete defenders I've ever seen. He doesn't have a noticeable weakness. I think maybe cut off his hair, it might be like Samson. The man might lose everything. Do you know what I mean? Because there's no reason to have that hairstyle. In this day and age. You shouldn't have that in this day and age unless it's hiding something. It's like, that's your power straight. That's where your strength's coming from. Because that should have been left in the coming to America and all them things. So I think he is. But I think people were jumping on this bandwagon too soon. I mean, he's had a phenomenal season, probably one of the best seasons I've ever seen from a centre back, individual season. But it's one season. Okay, it's 18 months because he's been really good since he joined. But he was good at Southampton. He wasn't excellent.
But he was around a lot of bad players.
I wouldn't say that.
What about not on his
Toby
level?
Alderweireld looked better than he did at Southampton, and Toby Alderweireld played
Not
with the same players.
necessarily.
He did. He looked better. Than
I mean,
he
but
did
he's
at Southampton.
another top centre back.
He
But
is.
think about what he's done for his country as well. So when he's around other good
recently,
players,
but he's been playing for Holland for a long time.
yeah, but I mean, maybe they were trash.
Yeah, they
before.
were trash.
I think him
were.
as an individual though has been performing for longer than just Liverpool. It's
I think,
just more highlighted.
he was
at a
good.
higher
He was
level
good
now, do
at
you know what I mean?
Southampton. I don't think he was excellent. He's obviously gone up a level since he joined Liverpool. That's
100%.
obvious.
He's raised his game.
It's obvious, but I do think he is complete. But I do think people are going a bit too much to say that he is better than Rio Ferdinand. He's better than John Terry. I hate John Terry. John Terry is one of the best defenders this league has ever seen.
Let me ask you
But
a
as I
quick
said, legacy. Though.
Yeah,
he doesn't have their
that's what I'm saying.
legacy.
Give him time to earn that.
Yeah, that's what I said.
yeah.
He
Let me
doesn't
ask you a
have
quick
the
question though.
legacy.
I know it's kind of hard because you haven't seen obviously Terry or even actually you haven't. Alright, here's a tough one for you. If you had to pick out a Sol Campbell, we're talking about ability. We're not talking about legacy because obviously Sol Campbell's won titles, but if you're talking about just natural ability defending, who would you actually pick?
For me, it's a tough one. I think Sol Campbell was a phenomenal defender. I think where Sol Campbell was let down, he wasn't a phenomenal footballer. I think Van Dijk is a phenomenal footballer as well as a phenomenal defender. So I'd choose him because he can play any type of defence you want to play. If you want to play the ball out from the back, he can do that. Sol Campbell wasn't necessarily the best in terms of his distribution.
But
defensively, he was a monster.
Yeah.
So it depends what you want to do. But I don't think there's much in it. But I would go Van Dijk because he offers you more in different systems.
Fair enough.
Okay.
I would say for me, if he wins Ballon d'Or, do you know what? I agree with Dev on this one a little bit because I think it's a little bit too early to say like, after 18 months you go down as one of the greatest ever. That doesn't happen in my opinion. You've got to have consistency. You've got to do it over years.
That's the legacy.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying no, but your legacy makes you great. Having one good season don't make you great. It just makes you stand out. It puts you on the map. And people are now going to be looking for you to kick on or at least
drop
keep
off.
that performance.
Pressure's on that.
And what I'm trying to say is that Van Dijk, in my opinion right now, is the best centre-back in world football, bar none. Don't give me no Ramos, don't give me no Koulibaly. I've seen all these guys get ripped at least in one game, at least minimal. I have not seen Van Dijk have a bad game where we can all go, Van Dijk actually got destroyed. I haven't seen it. So again,
I think it will go down as one of the best individual seasons in any centre-back
100%.
in any league.
Yeah.
For me,
and
I think it will do. Yeah.
Yeah, and if he keeps his consistency, in my opinion, I think he will go down as one of the greatest. But he's got to keep that consistency because I think this season he set the bar so high. Like I can't remember an individual season where a defender has just been head and shoulders above everyone to the point where we're talking Ballon d'Or. Like we only really think about attackers. The last person to win it was Cannavaro 2006.
Yeah.
And
that was based off the World Cup.
Yeah, and even then,
the World Cup.
That's what I'm saying. This, you can honestly say Van Dijk in the Premier League has been the best defender, bar none. He's been the best defender in the Champions League, bar none. He's been the best defender in the world, bar none. That's what I'm saying. I like that.
So,
Double H.
Alright, so let me just
What do you think?
put down some facts here, because people always come to me for the facts and the truth and the science.
I remember you saying you don't believe in the statistics and
So-
They didn't come to him for any of
So-
those.
so-
They're doing his head.
I listened to you guys. I was very silent.
You silent. I'll let you know.
100% for me. I feel that Van Dijk should win the Ballon d'Or because I do remember again a guy who I believe is the best defender I've ever seen in my life, based on just pure defending. Bart Simpson, aka Philip Lam, and Lam actually came out and he said that there needs to actually be different categories for the Ballon d'Or because defenders never really get a low looking. And I think it's a great thing that a defender is finally being recognized because again, it has been so attacking bias. It's good to see. So I think for Van Dijk, he's had an amazing season, and I think it will come down to Van Dijk and Messi because Messi has had an amazing season. If between Van Dijk and Messi, I just think it makes more sense because it's so fine between what they've done based on their positions. You have to give it to Van Dijk because I just think it makes sense. But I think the thing that people are forgetting, and to this guy's point about him being all-time and everything, you have to also keep in mind that who are the attackers he's facing. Because remember, back in the day, I could name you 7, 8 amazing attacking players, winger players. The attackers of this era ain't going to compare to a Figo, a Dennis Beckham, a flipping George Weah, a Del Piero, a Baggio. So therefore, defenders were having to face a lot more psychopaths attacker-wise than they do now. What you now have now are better teams and better things, but you don't have the same kind of individual psychos who can just win a game by themselves back that had in the 90s or the 2000s. So I feel that it is too early to put him as an all-time and everything because I still feel, as far as complete goes, Rio Ferdinand is the most complete centre-back I've ever seen.
All right.
So-
That's last question. Quickly.
Breathe.
Shazam. Taco Titan. What's wrong with first name, last name? Okay.
Guys,
anyway.
just pick, John, Shego, Philip, Femi.
No, it's fine. Thank you so much, Shazam, Taco Titan, whatever your name is. Thanks for sending this one in. In specific terms, what are your predictions on how Mbappe's career will pan out in the future? Very quickly, 1 to
Depends where he
sentences.
goes.
Let's
I think
go.
Alright.
You start, then fine. Double H, start us off.
100% depends on where he goes. If he stays at PSG, he won't realize his talents. If he moves to Real Madrid, I think he can then become one of the best players in the world.
Great.
I'm gonna say same thing as him, and I fully agree. Depends where you go. Stays in France, you ain't gonna do nothing. You're just gonna stay Mbappe. You're an amazing talent, but you wasted it. Should have went somewhere else. If you go Real Madrid, Barcelona, just one of the big clubs, but but more so Real Madrid, I think he's a potential Ballon d'Or winner and potentially one of the best players to play the game.
Wow. Okay.
Potentially.
Bold. I like it.
Bun La Liga, come Premier League. Let's start getting off of this. Like, we grew up in Real Madrid and everybody has to go Madrid or Barcelona. Fuck those teams. If he comes to the Premier League and plays for a Man City or Liverpool or someone like that, I think the way the Premier League is going over the next 4 or 5 years, Premier League will be above La Liga. Messi will go. I know Hazard just went there, but I still think Premier League will be more attractive to look at and watch. So while he's 20 now, 21, 24, 25, like, come Prem, prove yourself. Then maybe go and end your career at a Real Madrid or Barcelona. But for me, if he goes to one of those two teams, is he really proving himself? I know it's a good league and they're good teams, but is he really proving himself? He's at the team who's meant to win again, and he's, you know what I mean? Like, for me personally, I don't really think you need to go Real Madrid or Barcelona anymore. So.
Good. Devo.
I reckon by the time he's 26, he'll have 6 baby mums and a drug problem.
Whoa!
I like it. You know, why
Man,
not?
like,
And there's a lot of DUIs and things, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you know, let me say something about what you said, yeah? I get the whole, the Prem argument, but I think what it comes down to though, bro, is prestige, because you see R9, one of the players who in fact, he's your favourite player. Who did R9 play for, blood?
Both of them.
But
Did he play the Prem?
No, but
did he play the Prem? Did he play the
But
Prem?
my biggest memories
Did he play
of
the Prem?
Ronaldo are for the
Yeah.
national side. He had some amazing moments for
But
clubs.
What's his best season?
All
What's his
rules
best
need
season?
to Real
Say it, say it.
Civilized just a minute
Statistically,
ago.
his
Say
best
it.
season was
Say
for
it, bro.
Ajax.
Say it with your chest. Say
I
it
mean,
with your chest.
PSV, so.
Say it with your chest.
But it was
Say it with your
Barcelona.
chest. There you
It
go.
was
See?
Barcelona.
Barcelona.
And
I'm
you
telling you,
did
bro.
good.
Thank you. I've been very
You're
good.
the best
But
today.
statistically, it was for PSV though.
I get that, but he had that season at Barcelona.
No, he
Yeah.
did.
Animal.
All right. Well, anyway, we love hearing from you. Keep those questions coming, and we shall answer them next week again. See you then. Bye bye.